And so these payments that will be forthcoming in a lease agreement would be the first revenue generated on the property in more than 75 years.
This was one of the positive talking points for residents in favor of the new payment in lieu of tax agreement concerning the former Seneca Army Depot. Good evening, I'm Isabel Garcia.
And I'm Nick Wacherney. During tonight's public hearing, a handful of community members gave overwhelming support to the new tax plan in an effort to keep things moving forward.
That's right, although some people did raise concern for how the Industrial Development Agency went about handling the situation, prompting a surprise comment from a county supervisor in the crowd.
I think, though, what happened that I want to apologize to the people for is that the IDA, myself included, I think we got caught up in the process and trying to figure out a fair way to do it, and we kind of probably rushed through and should have taken our time more.
The pilot agreement is based on an assessed land value of $28 million for the 7,000-acre property of the former Seneca Army Depot. Last summer, businessman Earl Martin was selected as the winning bidder to purchase the property for a total of $900,000.
The $900,000 will be paid up front directly. Part of it has already. The lease, the pilot, that money will flow to the towns, the schools. It will be divided up through the Seneca County IDA, and they have been extremely helpful in this process.
The pilot agreement is arranged as such. Martin will pay $50,000 the first year, which is equivalent of taxes of a property assessment of $1.5 million. Should the lease move to a second year, he will pay $75,000.
The only thing that's really changed is this structure of the transaction. The process hasn't changed. It's just that the lawyers found that structuring the transaction in this way speeds up his access to the depot, speeds up taxes being paid to the local jurisdictions, and speeding it up is a good thing.
The goal of having access to the depot as soon as possible is to not only help generate revenue back to the community, but also to move forward with plans to create Deer Haven Park, something Martin has already contributed more than $170,000 of his own personal money to get started.
The motivation is, one, because I do think it is kind of a local treasure, and two is it's the right thing to do. It's part of the purchase, and we're going to see our way through that.
Based on comments, the assessor will have a new calculation for property value by May 1st. Earl Martin says he would like to further work for Deer Haven Park as early as next week.